Now, you're watching rawmike.richards.com. Also on the YouTube channel where we're getting a hold of the legendary Joe Bartnick.
Hello.
I'm looking for, I just said legendary Joe Bartnick. Legendary.
That's so nice of you, Mike.
Yes.
It's patently ridiculous, though.
How you doing, my friend? Great to talk to you this morning.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. The playoffs are upon us. I'm a little nervous because, of course, it's the Flyers, and I'm not nervous that we might lose. It's just, oh my God, if we would. Oh, geez.
No.
Can't even think about it.
No, you can't.
I get more confident every day. Every second, I get more confident.
Well, this is a team, when I take a look at the Eastern Conference, I don't give a rat's ass about any of the records during the regular season. This is a different kind. This is that second season. And quite honestly, if you're not afraid of what Pittsburgh can do, the kinds of players they have, those that have hoisted hardware above their heads, I still think, to me, that they're the team to beat in the East.
I think they have a very good chance. The team to beat, I'm not quite sure, because I think over in the Atlantic, there's some big boys. And if we win 2 rounds, I'll be happy, and I think it'll just be a war against either Tampa Bay or Boston, or even Toronto for that matter. But I think in the Metro, I definitely think we are the team. We are the team to beat.
So you're in Pennsylvania this morning. You're in Pittsburgh. What's the feeling right now of Pennsylvania, as they're calling it? Are they? I know it's the Flyers, and there's been a very, very rich history between these two teams. What are they saying about this right now, Joe?
Right now, everyone in Pittsburgh is ultra confident and super scared at the same time, because we're ultra confident we're going to win, but oh my God, if we don't, it would be the end of the world. And literally it would be. And I'll tell you, I think everyone is, of course everyone wants to win 3, immortality. I think, but everyone's like, they won 2. We're not going to come down hard on this team, but just beat the Flyers. What happens after that? We can all a city and a community.
Yeah, exactly. So looking at that matchup too, so you have the Flyers and Penguins. That starts on Wednesday. The curiosity part for me, Joe, I don't know about you, is what happens in that Washington-Columbus series, because if I'm betting money on this, which I clearly will be betting money on this, I got the Columbus Blue Jackets to pull this upset. What about you?
I think it's a great series, and it really is going to come. And it really is it's a legacy, really, for each franchise. Probably, it's going to Bobrovsky. His legacy in Columbus will be ever shattered. He can never win a series. Tortorella, this might be it for Tortorella. And then you have Trotz, probably definitely it for Trotz, and maybe even Holtby would find a different city next year, and they may even turn to Grubauer. So I think all the chips are in the middle of the table. I think that Washington is more experienced down the middle. I think Backstrom and Kuznetsov, I think Dubois is a comer. I think Wenberg is definitely a comer. I think they win down the middle, and I also think Ovechkin, the fact that he is not in the Hart conversation after they kind of have to dismantle this team and he went out and won the Rocket is a little crazy to me.
Well, the only thing I'd say about Washington, we did, there's many drafts going around the city, obviously. Did an event last night where the guy picked the Washington goalies, and I said, but who are they? Is that the mystery pick? What was that, door number 3? Because I got to be honest, in this league, in this day and age, I just am a little worried about a team that can't say, here's our number 1, and Columbus can't. And Bobrovsky can be weirdly hot. He can get a bit of a run sometimes. That would be my danger in that series.
Yes, I just think the Holtby is. I think Holtby is a great goaltender, and basically both of these teams aren't playing the Penguins, so they shouldn't have the bugaboo in their head. I think Holtby's going to bounce back. I really do, and if he doesn't, I like Grubauer. I think Grubauer is a very good goaltender, and he was hot. I just have a feeling that this could be Washington's year. I just have a feeling, and I just really like Ovechkin. I like Ovechkin this year. I just have to say they have a little bit of mojo going for him. I don't know if that's expert analysis. I just kind of like what they got going over Columbus.
Well, you also said bugaboo, which I'm a huge fan of people coming on and saying
we
that.
never use that word. That's great.
You rarely get that, Joe. Bugaboo.
You know what, guys? I will say I've been, making picks in print or on the airwaves for about a decade now, and this does seem to be the one year where the first round there seems to be way more easy ones to pick than in years past. I don't know how you guys feel. Years past, it seemed like anyone could win any series, and I think this year, especially out west, there just seems to be a few that are like, there's no way they're going to win. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Well, I think that in the Eastern Conference, I think at some point, if I'm being really honest about it, this is the one year where I think you can flip a coin a little bit. Once you get by that first round, and depending on who gets by that first round, I don't think, like I said, I still like Pittsburgh to sort of be there in the end in the Eastern Conference. But for the most part, a lot of these teams can take out each other. I don't think Tampa Bay plays consistently enough that I'm totally afraid of them. And for the Leafs playing Boston, I mean, again, I'm throwing out the regular season record, but they did beat them. What was it, 3-1-1 against overall against Boston? So that's not David and Goliath kind of numbers to me. I think this thing is up for grabs in the East.
Yeah, yes, definitely more so in the East. Well, I think that's what's funny about, I think Boston, I think is everyone's nouveau pick to win the East, and they actually have the toughest first-round matchup by far. I think Toronto's a fabulous team. I just like Boston's tough defense. I especially Chari, got McAvoy back. Anderson's played incredible this year. I mean, I think he set the Leafs record for goaltending. But Rask has had a great season too, and I just like Boston up front. I think Boston just has a little bit more of a mean streak than Toronto, and I know Toronto will be heartbroken if they do lose. They expect more, but I think they got a bad matchup. I think they can beat anybody. I think anybody else, I might pick them, but not Boston.
Let's rewind to what you were saying about the Western Conference, because I know there's a couple of series that you sit there and you go check mark. I'm not so fast on the check mark when I see San Jose versus Anaheim, because for the most part of this year, San Jose had home ice advantage until the last game, so the Ducks jump over them to actually take that number 2 spot. But these two teams, the way they've matched up and how well they've played late in the season, post-trade deadline, Evander Kane might be the best pickup for any team, and the Ducks have been playing as solid as ever. Where do you look in that? Because I look at all the first-round matchups, that might be the toughest matchup to pick.
Well, that in the Boston series is the only series that I picked to go 7. I have the Ducks. I love the Ducks top 9. I think they might have the best overall top 9 in the NHL. The concerning factor for me would be their goaltending. I mean, John Gibson, he gets hurt in the pregame meal.
Yeah.
He can't. He never makes it, So and Ryan Miller, let's face it, he hasn't stopped an important shot in anger in about a decade. So I would give Jones the goaltending edge if it's Miller, but I think they're going to somehow find a way for Gibson to play, and the Ducks are going to miss Cam Fowler. But I just have I just have a feeling with the Ducks this year. It seems like Getzlaf and Perry are revving it up a little bit. They have tons of scoring up top. I really think they have the best top 9, and they match up against the Sharks pretty good. And I like Kane, but if any team has a bunch of rough customers to kind of not be intimidated by Kane, it's definitely the Anaheim Ducks.
Well, and you bring up a good point about John Gibson. I mean, Dave and I have been talking about him since what was he, Kitchener? I think he came.
You got it.
He was a Ranger. We had a chance to see him play in the World Juniors when I was over in Ufa, Russia, and he's just had. I mean, you watch a guy in warm-up, and I'm thinking, there's no one going to score on this guy. He gets to the pros, and I already thought we were going to see him again with some hardware from time to time, but he has just, you're right, has just not been healthy. It's just he cannot get consistent play over a long period of time. And when again, you get in this time of year, I have to go with what I think is the more consistent goaltender, and Martin Jones, who has been he's been great since the moment that he goes to L.A. Whenever he had to fill in for Jonathan Quick. The guy was amazing. This kid can play goal, so I understand why you're saying that. But I would have loved to have seen a healthy John Gibson, what he can do, because the guy's got crazy skills.
Oh, absolutely. And the Sharks, their top tier defensemen are incredible. But I just really like the Ducks down the middle. I mean, the pickup of Henrique. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, I know they gave away a nice defenseman, but they really have 3 strong centers. I mean, they could match up against Pittsburgh center-wise. They definitely have the deepest center pool in the West.
By the way, a quote from the Los Angeles Times, Randy Carlyle told the paper that he fully expects John Gibson to start Game 1. of that series against the Sharks. I know he missed the last 3 games of the regular season, but he was on the ice yesterday and the day before, and there are signs that are pointing to him getting that start. So I know time will tell, and I know sometimes Carlisle does seem to play games occasionally with the media, and he doesn't like talking about his goaltender, but there are signs, Joe, that are saying that Gibson will be good to go in that series.
There's always goalie games in Anaheim. Remember Barbecue Bruce? He couldn't pick a goaltender either.
Now, I do have to mention something that, what was it, about a month ago, whenever it was, you were in town for St. Paddy's Day.
Yeah, you were in Calgary.
And I was in Calgary. I wasn't even in the province. And you and Bill were doing that show, I think, in Kitchener, I think.
Yeah, we went to Kitchener, and I found out that it was the home of Crown Royal. I mean, I went and genuflected. It was my mecca.
Is it really you know what, they just said that. That's not true.
They may be pulling your leg, Joe.
I think Crown Royal's made in Manitoba.
Yeah, I thought it was Gimli, Manitoba.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Because I thought that's where the Seagram's family dealt. I was told that's where Al Capone got all of his booze.
You know,
it was one of the cities, yes, and in Swift Current, Saskatchewan.
How do people know this shit? They don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
friends with Al.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden saying something nice, Joe Bartnick. Oh yeah, this is Kitchener where popsicles were invented here. Who knows? That's
Well, you know, for how much Crown Royal I've drank, there should have been a few buildings named after me if that really is the home of Crown Royal.
Hey, did you guys find a place for cigars? Because it's really hard to find sometimes. It is hard to find.
Well, you know, I don't know if you've heard there was a bar, and now I'm blanking on the famous comic passed away suddenly of cancer. I'm blanking right now. I'm in hockey mode, but he has a bar dedicated to him in downtown Toronto, and they were nice enough to let us smoke in there.
I'm trying to think of where that. Look, the last cigar bar that I've found is in Montreal. Because in Montreal, there's no rules.
It wasn't a cigar bar. It was a cigar bar that. It was a bar that just let me and Bill smoke in there.
Nice. So you a big cigar smoker then? That makes you even a greater legend in my mind. Greater.
Well, I do enjoy a very nice cigar. I mean, we used to do 1 or 2 a day, and then you end up you're talking like Scotty Farrell, which the man I love. But you got to back off a little bit. Now, you know, two or 3 a week. You know, we got spoiled. You know, we're not smoking Dutch Masters. We always got Cubans or Davidoff Nicaraguans. So, you know, I love amenities, Mike and Dave.
Well, you know, when I was in Detroit for the entry draft, we went downtown, and there are these 2 older Italian ladies. In the days, you'd call them two good old broads. But apparently people sensitive now. Now that's upsetting. But that's what they were. We go in there, and it was a cigar bar, but you could bring your own booze. So I had a huge thing of Crown Royal, obviously, that I just got from a liquor store down the street. It was right downtown Pittsburgh, and Canadians couldn't believe this. So I'm in there pouring booze that I brought in there, and these older Italian twin sisters or whatever they were, and the place was like a Cheech and Chong movie. You couldn't even see the guy beside you because there was so much smoke. I go, this is a town. This is where I need to be. Do you know the place I'm talking about?
Oh, you know, they have a bunch of cigar places in Pittsburgh. To be honest with you, Pittsburgh is a great town. I always take Bill down to the Italian market in the Strip District.
Oh, nice.
We always get the gabagool and the salami and the sharp provolone you can't get anywhere west of the Mississippi. You know, it's a nice bread. Have a little antipasta before the show. It's always fantastic. I still can't believe I'm blanking on this comic.
So
it's driving me nuts.
He's a comic from Toronto that passed away, and the bar's named after him?
No, he's a famous comic from Texas. He did a famous Letterman thing. He died of cancer. He's a legend. I'm literally just blanking out.
Oh, I can't believe that.
And Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, and they have a bar dedicated to him.
Okay, that's news to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Boy,
and they were.
He has some famous,
super cool
famous ripping of crowd members who weren't quite getting the vibe that he was providing. And there's some legendary carvings from Bill Hicks. He didn't mess around much, did he?
Oh, no, not at all. And legendary David Letterman pops. You know, I mean, it was like Bill Hicks went viral before there was the internet. That's how legendary Bill Hicks was.
Oh, awesome. Hey, we will catch up with you again, my friend, as the playoffs move on. I just got to say, I like the Penguins. I think they're going to do well in the playoffs. I mean, who knows what happens? I still think deep down, if I had to put money on something, I'm still picking the Nashville Predators. I think it's the Predators' cup to lose.
That's why can't the Preds just play Winnipeg right now? It's like they're getting 2 squash matches before WrestleMania. Are you kidding me?
That's true. They're going Undertaker over John Cena, hard time against the Avs, eh?
Yeah, that way. And then how about Winnipeg and Minnesota? Are you kidding me? Connor has over 30 goals. He's an afterthought on that team.
Bingo.
I want to see Jets Preds.
Bingo.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's going to be great.
Don't sleep on the Winnipeg Jets, by the way, in that series. That's
no,
good.
I am not sleeping on the Winnipeg. I mean,
Okay.
the Winnipeg Jets may have the most talent in the National Hockey League.
Ever.
Oh, ever. Yeah, well,
They're like the 80s Oilers.
yeah. This is becoming awkward now, actually, this conversation.
Hey, Joe, quickly, are you going to the game tomorrow? Because you are in Pittsburgh right now. Are you going? You got tickets or what?
Well, I was supposed to leave on Tuesday because I've been here working for a week, and then it's like, why am I leaving Tuesday? That's just ludicrous. I have to go watch Sid and Gino take on the Creamsicles tomorrow night in Pittsburgh.
There you go. I love it.
Oh, that's great. You'd be a good guy to go to the game with too. Are you verbal? Are you saying stuff? Are you standing up and saying something to the referee? Is it profane, Joe Bartnick? Is it profane?
No. I try to keep it calm because like Sully taught us, we don't turn the other cheek Sedin style, but we just play our game. We're out there to win.
See, so now he's on the team now. Do you see what happened there?
Good
He
old
just
Sully,
all of a
Coach
sudden
Sully, right?
went down to the bench. I saw that. What happened there. Joe, you have yourself a great time. We'll catch you with again real soon.
Oh, you guys are the best. I can't wait to see you guys in Toronto next time. But call me anytime. All season, all off season. I love you guys.
We'll do it. Thanks, my
Thanks,
friend.
buddy. I appreciate that.
That is.
Bye-bye.
There it is. Our good friend Joe Bartnick, the legend.
What? We just become best friends? Yep.